Toxic friends are the worst, so it's no surprise that they got called out for it. Bring me the tea. He told me she was cheating on her husband while laughing about how funny it was that her boyfriend would come over to the house and hang out with her husband and her and their newborn. After I told her that wasn't cool and we weren't friends anymore, she told everyone that I was sleeping with her husband and I was an abusive drunk. No to all. Happy ending. Dad divorced and got full custody. I got new friends. Dang. See, that's the thing. I feel like when people cheat and they have remorse and they're like, oh, it's a mistake, I would hope that my friends would be understanding of that, wouldn't judge me for it, I made a mistake, understandable. When you're cheating and you're laughing about it and that's like who you become, and it's gonna be hard to stand by you when you have no remorse and you think it's funny for that type of behavior, because I'm a real friend and I'm gonna say how I feel. And if any of my friends came laughing about the fact that they consistently cheat, like they're cheating on their husband, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say, I don't agree with that. That's disrespectful. I don't agree with it. So if you can't handle that and my honesty, then we probably shouldn't be friends. She was always like, me. But she had a lot of self-esteem and anxiety issues, and I forgave her for most of it. She was the maid of honor in my wedding. We hadn't been friends super long, but my BFF forever lives in another state, and this woman was just so excited about the idea. She knew about my intense jewelry? Girl, what? That says jealousy. She knew about my intense jealousy issues. She had listened to me talk endlessly about how I knew he is the one, and I can trust him 100%, which eases my internal jealousy so much. She knew I had been cheated on by every other man I had dated. She knew my previous relationship ended when I found out he was sleeping with a woman who had just asked to do a foursome with us and her boyfriend. Oh, this is personal. My friend had just gotten a boyfriend. He couldn't come out, but I invited her to a party with my husband and I. At some point when I was off fetching drinks, my friend asked my husband to sleep with her. When he did a double take, she revised to asking to sleep with us. He immediately came and told me. I told her right then and there, no effing way. And I wanted to go home and not cause some kind of scene at this party. I went home, I went to bed. Hubby came with. Thank God. My friend never apologized and acted like it never happened. She was right back to her me the very next day. She wasn't blackout drunk and had no issue mentioning other parts of the party. I stopped initiating contact and she never asked why or tried to make an effort back to me. I figure I do not want a friend who is so up their own butt to not see how clearly of a no-no that was. Also, yeah, inappropriate. Let's just say, even if that friend was like, ooh, I want to ask them to have a three-way. I feel like maybe you talk to your friend about that first. Not just like go up to the husband in private and be like, hey, you know, and start flirty and pitch out the idea like that. Also weird. Well, you know what? We can't judge. There might be friends out there who do this. I can't judge you. Do whatever you want in your relationship and in the bedroom. Not my business. But like, tell me about it. I want the tea. I also want water. So hop on hydration station with me, okay? It's good for you. Cheers. When we were in our 20s and in a bar, we met two guys. The more attractive one was showing more attention to me, so she brought up a really personal story about me to disgust him and turn his attention to her. Friendship over, removed from my life. Girl, that's savage. This happened a lot when I was younger. Like all the time. Not where they would do that and say something savage, like say something personal. But girls, oh my God, when we would all go out and stuff, and if we were all like, ooh, look at that guy's cute over there, and he would just pick one, some girls would get jealous, not to a point where it ended friendships, but that jealousy was definitely there when you were younger, especially when you're super young. I was around that all the time. I probably got jealous. I probably was like, oh man, I thought he was cute. I'm jealous that he's not talking to me instead. To be 20, you know? I wish. She pretended to have millions of dollars, but lived in a condo. Always told ridiculous lies like she flew to New York overnight and she had 5 pairs of AirPods and 3 Apple Watches. She just kept them at home. All lies. She was a pathological, compulsive liar who was manipulating and told unbelievable and outrageous lies and expected everyone to believe them. She also was a know-it-all and used fake facts to make it seem like she was right. I was only friends with her because I was the new kid and no one else was nice to me. To make a long story short, I cut her off, made new friends, and I now don't even talk to her anymore. I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm gonna expose a story, okay? There was this friend I had in high school, pathological liar, like insane. Once tried to convince my friends and I, she showed up to school with cowboy boots on, okay? And we were like, oh my God, cool boots, where did you get them? She told us that her and her family went to Tennessee, or went on a trip, and they went in a plane, like one of those small private planes, and skydived down to Tennessee and got the boots. What the f are you talking about? The biggest lie ever. And I remember my other friend and I were like,
bombastic side eye.
She was dead set. She's like, no, it happened. Go ahead and ask my parents. So I totally remember being like, okay, in my head, went over down the line, asked her parents, brought up the story, and then what did she say? Oh my God, I was just kidding. I wasn't being serious. Trying to make me feel like I was crazy. Anyways, bless her. She was a sweet girl, but compulsive liar. I started to realize that they're toxic after I felt that they were intentionally making me feel out of place because I can't join them when they want to hang out or somewhere or get drunk. I'm not an alcoholic person and they make me feel bad for not joining them to have fun. Oh, I hate that. Most of the time, I don't also have money to go anywhere that they want to go, hence calling me a killjoy. Now they're starting to treat me as if I'm no one, always the last option in the group. No one wants to go with me during lunch. They only notice me when they ask for help on a particular subject. It just makes me sad. Those aren't your friends. That's okay. Maybe it's what you need to learn, that these aren't your people. Don't give them any more of your time, your attention, your energy. You will find your people. You will find people that don't make you feel bad about that. You know, you want to be around the people who are like, you don't need alcohol to have fun. And just because we want to drink and you don't, it's all good. No judgment here. You're going to find those people. These aren't your friends. These people say you don't want to be friends with them anyway. You know what I mean? Blessing in disguise. She was always so busy scrolling on her phone, stopped only to tell me that she couldn't be my therapist when I was pouring my heart out about some really difficult stuff. I chalked it up to her own mental health and crappy method of delivery and tried to stay her friend after. Turns out it's not just my hardship she doesn't care about. She wasn't excited about any of the great stuff in my life either. She also doesn't give a about my needs unless they're somehow able to fulfill hers. For example, concert tickets to her favorite band for my birthday. How convenient. She dead ass will walk 10 feet ahead of me and not notice that my disabled ass is struggling to keep up. I'm expected to be aware of and in support of every single aspect of her life, giving 110% to our friendship, but she'll ignore my messages unless she wants something from me. We've been friends for over half my life and I can't even talk to her about feeling like poo because of the way she'll turn it all on me. I'm gonna have to just cut my losses. I can't keep forcing myself to hang out with her when it makes me feel like crap. I understand it's hard to let go of friendships when you've been friends for so long because you cherish that person and they've been around for a long time, and I get you just hold on to it for longer than you probably should, but you gotta trim the fat. If they're not adding value and positivity to your life, bye-bye. Life's too short. Way too short. My best friend, Chloe, and I had this one friend who was going through family issues, so Chloe let her live with her and her husband for a while. Everything went downhill from there. She would start fights with Chloe's husband, throw things at him, come in at 3 a.m, admit that she was out sleeping with other guys when she had a boyfriend, but then deny it later. She also stole the apartment key, to which Chloe called the cops on her for, but we don't know where that led. They are back in their own home state, so we're not worried about it. She still stole some shirts, K-cups, and threatened to steal their dog. But she wound up pregnant with her boyfriend, who she then married, but admitted to Chloe that she was still sleeping around with other guys. Lovely. They're now divorced. Oh, my neighbors are leaving. I met one of my new neighbors the other day, you guys. He seemed nice. They're now divorced and he now has custody of their daughter, but she wants her back, and I know she's an unfit parent. It's just crazy because she seemed fine until we became friends, and then all hell broke loose. We've cut all ties with her, but I'm worried about her kid. That was so much in one story, I forgot that it was all the same story. I really did. Sounds like a toxic person overall. And for the kid's sake, I hope she does get help. I met my best friend when I was 21 and she was 20. We partied, we bonded, we did what 20-year-olds do, but then we hit our 30s and I matured. I grew and learned and became a grounded, emotionally stable adult. Sadly, she stayed where we were when we were in our 20s. She dated toxic men, like screaming in your face, tracking your moves, gaslighting, love bombing, all of it. And I'd comfort her when it crashed and burned. And then she'd go back to them and ghost me. This went on for years. I love her dearly, but my health and heart could not take the abuse. It's hard, man. When you get in your 30s for sure, like, well, even in your late 20s, you just outgrow some people. Life takes you in newer directions, or lifestyles don't match up anymore. Relationships come along and sometimes people don't give the same energy towards their friendships, so they don't survive. It's tough out there, you know? So if you have good friends in your life, all my friends are from grade school and high school. I am so lucky. All my closest friends, like from my hometown. I'm so freaking lucky to have them. Not everyone can say that, you know? So I don't take it for granted. My back is killing me. Hold on, I gotta crack my back. It's major. Maybe you'll hear it. Oh my God. I just cracked it in half. We used to be very good friends, so we moved in together, but then she never cleaned up. She didn't contribute to shared stuff like cleaning supplies, toilet paper, spices. She'd shave her leg right after I'd scrubbed the bathroom spotless and would not flush the hairs down. Would leave hair and toothpaste regularly in the sink. She even slept with another roommate of ours in my room. Whenever she had a bad day, the whole flat was full of negativity. She'd set her alarm to 4:30 a.m. and leave it ringing until 7 a.m. with doors locked so that I couldn't turn it off. She'd skip the rope during the night or early in the morning, 5 a.m. She was the worst person ever, and I am so happy she's no longer in my life. Oh my God. Worst roommate ever. I could never, my OCD would never allow that. When men shave their face and leave their hair all over absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't. I'm such a Monica, whoa, I can't speak. I'm such a Monica Geller in that way. Cleaning, it's like, whew, things just get me, and I kind of wish they didn't bother me as much, you know? When I was in elementary school, I had a friend. She would bully me one day, then act sweet the next. She would spread cruel, I can't speak. She would bully me one day, then the next act so sweet. She would spread cruel rumors about me and then act so innocent. Once, when we were partnered to do a project, I created the idea and got an A+. But she took all the credit for my brilliant idea and said I was so lazy and pathetic. She was popular, so she got away with it. But during the state test, I caught her cheating and I ratted her out. She was held back a year and transferred because she was embarrassed. Ha! Payback. I hate to admit that she was never your friend in the first place. That's fake, you know? Ugh. Especially in elementary school. You're young, you know what I mean? But that happens when you get older and people are fake and they talk smack behind your back and then they act nice to your face. Oh! My favorite people. Sarcasm. Hate it. And I've watched, in my adult life, I have watched other friends where they're like, ooh, bestie, and then they will come to me and talk smack about the other person. I'm like, is that not your best friend that you post about on Instagram all the time? Did you not stand in her wedding? I would love to tell her all the things you just said to me. When he started cheating on his girlfriend indiscriminately and then bragged about it. And to make matters worse, my then girlfriend was friends with his. So he indirectly involved me in all his lies when I had to cover his dumbass. We ended up fighting over it and aren't really close anymore. I'm not covering up for a friend like that. I'm sorry. Those values don't match mine. My girlfriend comes to me and says, hey, I'm cheating and I'm gonna continue to cheat and I just want you to cover for me. No, sorry, girlfriend. Your values don't match mine. I don't agree with it. I don't want to hear about it. Shouldn't be doing that. Break up with him and then sleep with whoever you want. When my dad died and my best friend didn't call or text me, but managed to message a friend who I previously slept with a few weeks before for a dick appointment, he asked her if she had messaged me about my dad. When she said no, he said, you should message your friend. He was texting me through this situation too. She knew for 5 days that my dad passed. The weekend my dad passed, I comforted her through a breakup. I hadn't told her then, but she found out 2 days later from a mutual friend of ours. I ended the friendship after that. Lost 2 of the most important people in my life within a week. Oh, that's really sad. I'm so sorry. What kind of best friend doesn't call or text you? Not text, call, show up at your door to freaking hug you through the pain when your father passes away. Put the whole I'm sleeping with someone you slept with aside. That's a whole other thing. You weren't even there for your friend when her father passed away. That's so messed up. I realized that while I sometimes enjoyed hanging out with her, I always felt worse when we would meet up. She was the type of person who needed to be cynical to validate her own opinions. So being around her just started to be really taxing. She also tried to make out with me. Whoa! Despite knowing that I was not interested in her and in a very serious relationship. That was the death. Yeah. Well, that'll make things awkward. I was not expecting that. Oh, she was just always so cynical. And she, trying to make some moves on me. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.